Welcome, everybody. This is the journalist Sin-seer, and today I have what I consider to be the album of the year, 2023. We have Charlie Smarts and
Yeah,
my
that's great.
man DJ Ill Digits. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening.
Yo, you ain't tell us you thought that, bro. That's crazy.
Well, what better way to surprise you, I guess? But yeah, definitely out of all the releases this year, that one is the top of the list. And so we want to get a little background on that creative process. But before we do that, we want to know a little bit about each one of you. So if you could take us back just a little bit. And for you, Charlie, how did you get into MCing?
Uh well, back in the day, I grew up kind of in a hood place, and we used to just take the tapes and record stuff off the radio and then rap to it. You know what I mean? When you had the boom box. I'm kind of older, so we used to do that a lot. And so everybody was rapping. We go to lunch, everybody was rapping, beating on the table. So it was just a thing. Like we all rap, but we weren't really like making albums or nothing, but everybody rapped. And so when I went to college, I found this program on my computer. I got my first computer, and this program called Acid. I don't know if you heard of it, had Acid, and then I just started rapping with my friends, and ever since that, I've been doing it. So like really college, started smoking weed and started just making songs.
Give us a timeline. What year would that be?
It was like I started really rapping in like 2000.
Okay.
There, yeah.
Ill Digits, how about you? At what point did you get into DJing? Was that your first foray into hip hop DJing?
Yeah, I really got into like independent hip hop and golden era hip hop in high school, which would be 2000 to 2004. And then it didn't take me long, probably like 2 years into my just like falling in love with that. I started DJing. So by 16, I was already DJing. And it was really on some like turntablist, like executioners, DJ A Track, Scratch Pickles, DJ Babu, stuff like that. Really was in love with that. And then, just being from Raleigh, uh, I had the amazing experience of kind of getting to see Little Brother perform before the listening had even came out. So 2 years in, I'm already like witnessing, what would be like the foundation for a lot of our stuff, which was like Ninth Wonder, the Justice League, going to those shows locally, and I was just DJing, and yep, that was kind of how it started, man. Just
Right.
soaked it up like a sponge, man.
No doubt. Charlie, talk a little bit about your influences around this time.
Like early times.
Yeah, getting into MCing, I'm sure you're standing back and some of the MCs are influencing you around 2000s. Who, were some
I
of those?
mean, I liked the big ones. You know what I mean? I liked a lot of Jay-Z. I listened to a lot of Eminem. The one of the first albums I really fell in love with when I was young was like, my mom had me listening to Chris Cross when I was really young. You know what I mean? Or like the Brat. I used to like the Brat a lot. I like Biggie. Outkast was my favorite group when I was young. I was in the South, and Andre 3000 was probably like my favorite, and just a lot of the major cats. I like Fonte a lot. You know what I'm saying? When I was in college and stuff like that, I wasn't familiar with him until I moved to Raleigh. I was from Greensboro, so I moved to Raleigh. Started finding out about stuff that DIGITZ already knew about. He was from there, so just I just like lyricists, bro. Like lyricists who have a good time and like to have fun and can tell stories. Like, you know what I mean? Mixing all that stuff. If you listen to the tape, I just try to do a lot of different things, but I really try to have witty lyrics and I'm having fun. And then I also like to, have some wisdom in there. So like that's kind of what I try to do. Lyrics that do that.
No doubt. How about you, Ill Digital? I know you mentioned like the Executioners and others. Who were some of your other influences around?
Um, I mean, I was falling in love with like the golden era, so that's Illmatic, and it was like Illmatic, then Only Built for Cuban Links and Liquid Swords, just following that trail. But at the same time, I was in love with early 2000s indie hip hop, man. So Jurassic 5,
Like Blackalicious.
Blackalicious, hieroglyphics, like even like Aesop Rock, like
Probably,
Kelly Agents,
probably that whole Raucous movement as well, right?
oh, loved Raucous. I loved
Slum Villa.
Black Star, all of that stuff, and even some of like the super indie backpack like Ugly Duckling, all of that stuff. I was really all into like indie early 2000s rap, man. Serious.
Take us back to meeting at NC State. How did that all happen?
Well, I was going to the radio station and freestyling a lot. There was this dude named Sammy Automatic, and I had quit school. And then when I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna do such and such. And part of the plan was to go to the radio station and start rapping. And so I was doing that every week. And then I decided to start a crew. And it was going to be just all focused on hip hop, graffiti, rapping, producing, all the elements, right? And so I needed a DJ in the crew. I was like, yo, Sammy, man, I keep coming here every weekend, like I was spitting over the radio. Yo, you want to be a part of this crew? And he was like, nah. I was like, all right, man. He's like, I know somebody who might. I was like, all right, cool. So then he brought me and saw DIGITZ, and I connected with DIGITZ. I was like, such and such and DIGITZ was cool with it. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how the crew started fleshing out. He brought his homies, I brought my homies, and then like Tab and Rhapsody, and like we all came together. You know what I'm saying? Like DIGITZ brought a lot of the folks that was like young, because I was older. You know what I'm saying? So I brought some older cats, but DIGITZ knew a lot of the younger cats. He was a freshman?
Yeah, I was a freshman when he was a senior.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. So we met through the radio station at NC State, which is WKNC 88.1. Shout out to 88. And I remember the summer before my freshman year, I went to a show in Raleigh. And I don't know, it was a crew called Critically Acclaimed. They were a group from the early 2000s. They were down with like Justice League. They did a show in Raleigh during the summer. Critically Acclaimed, Median was there, some other Justice League cats was there. And I remember leaving that show so inspired. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And like, that was when I like, somebody who did 88.1 was there. And I was like, look, man, I'm going to be a freshman next semester. I want to start doing the radio. And so already like day one freshman year, that was the first place I went as soon as I went to college, was like sign up to get started learning how to be on the radio. And then I met him literally like that first semester on the radio.
Yeah, it was early because once I got back to school, I wanted to hit the ground running. I already had this plan in my head. I'm like, yo, I already looked up the stuff. All you need is 5 people. Then you can use the, facilities and all that. So I'm like, yo, once I got there, I'm like, yo, I was fucking Nick Fury, bro. Nick Fury. I was like, yo, I'm about to make some Avengers, bro. And I just had my eye. I was like, yo, I freestyle with Tab. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get him. And I had this girl that I was working with at Foot Action. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get her. That was Rhapsody. And then I hit DIGITZ, and then DIGITZ brought in Sin and Fool, right? Didn't they?
Did I?
I can't remember.
I think I knew. I knew Foolery because of his high school buddies were some of my middle school buddies, and I think that's how we connected.
Yeah, y'all were both from Raleigh, so like I feel like you brought in Foolery, and Foolery brought in Sanap, because Foolery and Sanap had just met and started talking about producing stuff. I think Foolery taught Sin some of his early production stuff. Yeah.
So,
sorry, we're reminiscing. Wow, we're going down.
No, that's what's up. So that was the early formulation of Kooley High. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we made a H2O, and then Kooley High came out of that.
Okay, talk a little bit about H2O, which was a student-run organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, H2O hip hop organization, and we used to throw mad hip hop events on campus because I expected to see more hip hop stuff, and we did it was like you have these ideas in your head of what it's going to be at college. And, our college was kind of more of an agricultural college. It's the biggest college in the state, but it was kind of more of an agricultural thing. It wasn't like a super huge amount of, like people doing hip hop stuff. And so we made it more of that. And so we had graffiti stuff, we did like rap battles, we did hip hop battles, we made a compilation, we did a party, several parties, we threw a show, like we did all the hip hop stuff, bro. We even like threw a show on campus at this place called the Freedom Expression Tunnel. And it was the first time anybody had done that. Fast forward like 30 years later, whatever. Cats doing it now still, like freestyling out there, but they don't know that we was the first ones to like kind of pop the top on that and do an actual hip hop show at that spot. You know what I'm saying? So H2O was just doing mad shit on campus. And Foolery happened to know Ninth Wonder because he was in first year college. He didn't really have a major. And they was like, all right, find somebody in something that you want to do and shadow them. He hit up Ninth, and this before Ninth, right before Ninth had done the Jay-Z Threats thing. And Ninth was like, yeah, sure, come on over. Because, you know, Ninth was already doing the little brother stuff. He was already a big deal locally. And so Foolery asked, and he was like, come on through. And so Foolery was just learning from Ninth, sitting there, watching them, asking questions. And then when Foolery was a part of the crew, it was like, yo, man, see if Ninth will judge this hip-hop battle. Ninth came through. It was like, yo, one time Ninth was like, yo, see if you can come listen to some tracks. Ninth came through. Like, it was crazy, bro. Yeah, H2O was the shit, man. We threw crazy parties too. People remember those parties. Those parties were dope. So, yeah.
How long did H2O last?
Was it like 4 years?
Something probably like yeah, like by my senior year. I think like because like once I graduated, I'll say like once I graduated, kind of we had already kind of like. I mean, at its peak, H2O was probably about 30 people that were meeting every Sunday on campus. And then like once like Charlie and Tab One and Rhapsody all graduated, and then like Sin and Foolery graduated the same year, and then I was 1 year behind, we had already decided that we wanted to like pursue it like for real. And we're still close to all those homies like that we made through H2O, but like it kind of disbanded after that. But I mean, it was pretty epic 4-year run.
Yeah.
Like even if there's like this H2O mixtape that we made, which is like a compilation of Kooley people and the other people that were involved. And once again, that was something where we showed that to Ninth, and he was like, y'all want some drops for this mixtape? And we were like, sure. And he was like, all right. He called up Pasta News. He called up
Erykah
Badu.
Crazy.
He called up Elzai. Elzai dropped like an unreleased freestyle, and it's on this H2O compilation mixtape. We're just sitting here like, what is going on? So it's just all about like the timing of what Little Brother and Ninth Wonder was doing, mixed in with like us being hungry and them, you know, not gatekeeping. That's such a 2023 term right now. Being just open to like being cool with us.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, that was a special time, man.
This is before Jamla, right? So he didn't really have a big crew of artists that he was, you know, managing and a label and all those responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his music thing, and he saw, you know, we was the next up. You know what I mean? Like if you look at Raleigh community music, you know what I'm saying? Past Little Brother, it was really the Kooley crew that was really holding it down for Raleigh. You know, these big publications come through, Vice magazine or whatever. These people come through and they don't really be, we're like the most slept on crew in hip hop, I feel, man. Cause like we be holding it down, but you know, we ain't really gotten, we ain't on a major label. We ain't got like nobody really singing our praises everywhere, but we just do what we do. We come into work, we clock in, do this hip hop shit, and we go home, you know. So.
Very dope. What was the early conversations as far as the direction for Kooley High?
I mean, I think like honestly, it just started with like start with just a handful of songs. Like I remember around that time period, it was just kind of like it started with like about maybe 5 or 6 songs, and you know, we were just so steeped in that Ninth Wonder.
We were just making the joints though.
Yeah, but it was all based around like what was the sound in Raleigh at that time, which was Justice League, you know, and the Justice League was more than Little Brother. The Justice League was Median, Shondon, Joe Scudda,
Legacy.
Legacy, Edgar Allan Flo,
Sean Book.
and then like it was more than just the Justice League in Raleigh at that time. You know, there was so many other people.
K Hill,
Kazi, The Third Day.
Yeah. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of music getting made in Raleigh around that time, man. And we really just stuck with it. You know what I mean? There was a lot of cats that was doing it and kind of, you know, didn't continue. That was nice, super nice.
Yeah.
And we learned from all of them.
And that was the sound though, like that boom bap, soul chop, like that was the Raleigh NC hip hop sound. So we were just a part of that and doing our version, you know, our take of that.
It was our production team. You know what I'm saying? We had our own producer. We wanted to, like, one thing we wanted to be as Kooley High was a one-stop shop. We didn't have to ask nobody for nothing.
Right.
We had the DJ in-house. He could do scratches. He could also throw parties. We had the spitters in-house. We had a white dude, had a black dude, had a girl. Like, we was like, all right, we got our rappers. We got 2 producers, got a white producer, got a black producer. Y'all both learning from Ninth. Y'all both cool with him, do your thing. And then whatever we kind of just was like, the sound that they was giving us was what we was rocking with. We wasn't even trying to get no beats from nobody else unless it was Ninth. That's really, it was it, or Crisis or something. Like, we was like, yo, we got our beats. And so the sound and the direction was really, to me, due to our production team and what they had learned from Ninth and our surroundings. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the lyrics go, you know, everybody just pulled from, you know, what they knew and, you know, what they liked. And we all try to bring something different to the table. Wasn't trying to copy nobody, that's for sure. You know, right. We was trying to be ourselves with the sound that North Carolina had kind of provided for us.
Was the ultimate goal to ever sign with a major label at that time?
We didn't really talk about that, bro. I think we just love to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If a label would have came to us and be like, oh, we're gonna give you this money, sign it, we'd probably be like, I don't know. Y'all want to do it? Like, you know, we were just having fun. We was mad young and we was having fun with it, bro. And we still having fun to this day.
Yeah, and like, you know, Fat Beats reached out to us. And that to us was the world, you know, like that's, you know, going back to like those early 2000 underground hip hop days, like
when they still had a store.
All
like
of that
Fat
was
Beats
Fat
had reached out to us.
So when they reached out to us, that was amazing. You know, like hint, hint, like Stone's Throw, holla at your boy, yo, like something like that. You know, like these, like we always joke around, like, yo, Stone's Throw would be amazing. Like those are the type of labels that we like, just like that really are independent but still amazing artists, amazing people. So yeah, I don't know if we ever really were like, yo, we got to get on this major, we got to do this or do that. It was never really about that.
Nah, like, and major labels don't really pay attention sometimes unless you sell, you know, 50,000 copies and generate at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can generate $400,000 of income, they'll come knocking at your door and be like, all right, we want a piece. You know what I mean? We wasn't making huge monies like that, or we didn't even tour crazy. We just did what we did, and the heads know. You know what I'm saying? Our thing really ain't, the masses ain't really on us like that, but the people who know rock with us. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, we ain't chase nothing. We was just having fun with this music and holding the culture in a high standard. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we can't drop the ball on this shit. You know what I'm saying? We have a legacy to uphold. We from North Carolina, man. Like, we're from the line of Ninth Wonder. We're from the line of Fonte. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see Rhapsody taking over, because she was in Kooley High, bro. Like, we was like, before she is what she is, like, we had something to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she grew and she became her own thing. But, you know, we had a high standard amongst ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to be great. You know what I'm saying? And you see people like J. Cole being one of the greatest. That's because North Carolina, bro, like, he came out of that school of Ninth Wonder beats, Fonte lyrics, and everybody was nice. But, you know, if you just keep going, hopefully you'll see the light, you know.
Right. Now, Rhapsody ended up leaving the group at a certain point. What was the plan moving forward after she left?
Keep rocking, you know, like we, you know, at first it was tough, you know, because we had like done so much, but like we ultimately understood and we were like amazed at what she was accomplishing, and we thought it was crazy. So, you know, like we ultimately were like wanting her to be able to do the best that she could do. And, you know, we still love this, you know, like that's why we're still doing this. Like to this day, like we love to do, like, this is what I like to do with my free time.
Yeah.
Like I want to do this. Like, you know,
But
if
also
you're
you
artist,
mad nice though.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like if you're an artist, like there's some meme on like IG where some guys like, if you're an artist, you have to do it.
Yeah.
It's not about, you have to do it. And like I feel that like I want to go perform. I want to go DJ. I want to go listen to beats in the studio. I want to hear them make songs. I want to lay scratches on songs. So, you know, we like Rhapsody is my sister, man. So like everything that she's getting now is totally deserved. She's like a legend, you know.
Right.
Listen, man, like if my sister moves to France, she's still in the family, bro.
Right.
She can't come to family reunions. That's all good. She's still in the family. So I say this all the time, man. She's still Kooley High, man. I don't care what she do. She's still family, man. Because we wouldn't even. She came up with the name, bro. She came up with the name, bro. Like, so she's family, man, and she forever Kooley High. Even if she, you know, quote unquote, graduate, do her thing, take over the world, man. She's still my sister. Like, so, like, you know, we texted, you know what I'm saying, talk about her upcoming album. Shout out to her. She got an album coming out next year. And we chatted a little bit about that and stuff. She was giving me pointers on like how we gonna roll out the next Kooley High album. You know what I mean? Because we got an album coming next year too. So she's still family. And you know, once again, we like taking little notes from her. You know what I mean? That's North Carolina shit, man. Like seeing what works, still keeping it true on these lyrics. Because if you listen to her, man, she got bars. And that's what I tried to do on this project. Keep the fucking bars up, bro. Like, you know, so yeah, man. She family, man. We love Rhapsody. Shout out to her. She dropped the single with Hit Boy. You know what I'm saying? She got more stuff coming too. So
you guys released several projects throughout the years. At what point, though, Smarts and DIGITZ have conversations about coming out with a project?
I mean, ultimately, like, so you know the story, like me and Charlie, we live in New York, and then the rest of the crew lives in North Carolina. So, you know, we're constantly going down there to work and to do shows and like, you know, foreign exchange style, like sending files to make the music and stuff. And I think it was Charlie's idea to like do something, like he wanted me to put together something for him. But then like the more we thought about it, it was just like, oh, this will be amazing that me and him can have a project together because we're both up here in New York. We can just do all of the stuff for the album. We're together like in the same city. We can easily perform. We can link up any day of the week that we need to, like I need to pop over, like where, you know, I'd like today I just came over so we could do this interview, you know. So
yeah,
we wanted to have that aspect going.
it was really the pandemic, man.
Yeah.
That's when like we was locked up.
Okay. 2020.
Yeah, it was like 2020 was when the idea was really coming to it. Because it's like we ain't doing no shows, you know, we ain't making no Kooley album right now. Like we was about to go down there the week it popped off, the week the pandemic started and COVID started rocking. We booked flights and we had to cancel our flights right before that shit. And yeah, man, we was just talk with DIGITZ, and the project had went through several iterations of what it finally became. It was going to be a straight up mixtape at one point where I'm just rapping over jacking for beats type style. And then it changed into, okay, we're going to have some jacking for beats and some originals. And then that morphed into DIGITZ was just like, hey, man, we can just make it totally original. And, you know, it was kind of aha moment for both of us. It was like, all right. And so DIGITZ went harder on the cuts. I went harder on the raps. And then we started being like, oh, let's get a Jay Sinai verse. Oh, let's get a Nolan the Ninja verse. Oh, let's get a Skyzoo verse to make it feel. And these are already homies, so it ain't a big ask. You know, these are people we've done shows with. It's all natural. All the features on there is like real natural. It's already people we already rock with. So it was easy to make it happen. So like then it was like, yo, all right, we have this thing. And then we just started, how can we make it better? let's like sculpting, right? You got this big block and you just want, all right, let's shave this off, and it starts taking shape, and then you want to polish it, and then you want to do all these things. And that's kind of how it was.
Yeah, and like some of the joints that you hear on there originally were recorded over the whole like over other people's beats. And so then we had to find new beats, find original beats that we could have, and then re-record those joints over those. And then like those songs became totally like, there's versions of some of these songs over other people's beats, but the song is, it's the same lyrics, but it's a totally different song and feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we redid them over original beats because we just decided like halfway through, like we want this to be an original album.
Yeah. But it was an ode to the mixtape culture and sound bombing. Those are the two things was bringing in, like, because you see everybody right now doing tapes, this, tape that. We was like 5 years ago, like, yo, tapes. And then, like, because we talked about a mixtape, and then 2000 hit, and then 2020 hit, and then it was pandemic. Was like, yo, we're going to make a tape. And DIGITZ came up with the name first. He said, yo, I want it to be very simple, bro. Just think about it. Charlie Tape. That's it. It's just easy to understand. Charlie Tape. And I was like, bro, you sold me. Like, once he said Charlie was in the name, I was like, bro, you got me. So I was like, I dog, yeah, word.
Well, but, I had wanted to do like one of these, like, I knew like if it killed me before I was done in this game, I was gonna make an album where it was like all collage together, like as many things in between the songs and as much dialogue and as soupy as I could make it, like
hella dense.
I knew that at least I was gonna do at least one album like that. And so I was like, when he initially had the idea to do it, I was like, this is gonna be the one where I finally get the chance to like do that type of album. So and thank you, the pandemic, like a lot of days in 2020, me sitting at home, listening and digging on YouTube in the bowels of YouTube at 3 a.m., looking up random college radio clips and digging for just weird things. And I just started compiling all of it. And then it just all started to kind of like come together like a sculpture, probably is how I would describe it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Were you guys ever together while recording this album, or was it file sharing?
Some of the later, the joints where we had to redo them because we wanted them to be original, those I was like there for some of those, but a lot of it he was recording at his studio. Yeah.
Like, honestly, man, once I heard this story about how Missy Elliott records, that's how I want to do it, man. Like, Missy Elliott don't let nobody see her record, bro. She don't even let Timberland has never seen Missy Elliott record no raps. That's crazy. Except for when maybe she was living in the fucking room with Aaliyah and them and fucking all that shit. But no, when she had a studio, she clears the studio and records her shit. I like to do it like that because you make a lot of mistakes doing these songs. I be doing weird shit, bro. I be singing. I be trying to hit these notes. I be rapping different ways, and I don't want nobody around while I'm doing that shit. But like some of this stuff DIGITZ here for, I already kind of knew what I was doing, so it's easier. But I kind of like to make a lot of mistakes and try a lot of things,
right,
before you know what I'm saying, hear the final product.
Right. I'm a sucker for the 90s, and this sonically takes me back to that era. Was that what you guys were looking to do to capture the feeling of the 90s?
I think like, well, we just love a certain knock, like you're a sucker for the 90s. I'm a sucker for like beats that knock, like the Haters Anonymous beat, just that knock, that's the NC hip hop sound, that we started with. So I'm forever like being inspired by those type of beats. So, that's what kind of those were a lot of the ones that I was loving, Haters Anonymous, Air Max 95, and then, Honey, Check It Out. Like, to me, that just sounded like the most beautiful 90s beat ever. Like, to me, like if you played that for someone, I like don't think that they would be able to tell you that that wasn't made in like 1996. So
Right.
that excited me, you know, like I was like, I love that, you know, that aspect of it. So
It's like we try to do, like, you know, when they redo the Corvettes, you know what I mean? They'll take a car and they'll make it a retro but new. That's kind of what it is to me, like, because it's, to me it sounds new, but it has that homage to the classics. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to make timeless music. You know what I'm saying? We don't want it to just feel like, you know, that era. You know what I'm saying? That's why we try to have like updated flows and stuff. But yeah, like DIGITZ said, we just like dope shit, man.
Like that Eric G beat, Leaders of the New School, like that beat is
dope.
just amazing, just an amazing, and you know, it's also like early 2000s hip hop, 90s hip hop, like all of that, you know, that's just like what we make, the music that we like.
Right.
That's what we do. Like we're just making the music that we want to hear. Like I wanted to hear an album like this, you know.
No
it
doubt.
wasn't me like it wasn't me like, oh, I think that everyone's like, I think the market is primed for this type of thing. It was like, no, I was like, no one's making an album like this.
Right.
I want someone to make an album like this. So like, fuck it, like let's do it. Like let's make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Do you feel like the direction for the longest has been like drumless beats?
Oh yeah, you know, that stuff is so lovely. And like, you know, I'll even admit, like in the last couple of years, there was a long time where I was very resistant to that style. But like, you know, I've grown, I've allowed myself, and just from listening to as much music as possible, I've like developed a love for all of that stuff. But you know, I love drums.
Too much of anything is a bad thing. That's what I feel like. I like the drumless stuff in spots. You know what I'm saying? You can have a couple tracks without it, and then tracks with it, bro. Like what drums?
Like, I like to go like this, you know?
Yeah, like it's no, like I'm not making fucking elevator music, bro. When you take the drums out, sometimes it reminds me of like just elevator music.
Well, it just makes it kind of like, you know, we're like this.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Which is, but I wanna like, you know,
like
and I want to hear a hi-hat, and I want to like, you know, I want to do this. Like that's
man,
what,
like hip hop started off break beats, dog. It ain't break wavies. It ain't break vibes. No, nigga, it's break beats. So
but then also like that was another thing, like you're talking about drumless snare or drumless beats, and then the other like kind of another pattern that we were seeing was like no skits, no interludes on any albums. You know, everything was just like 9 songs, nothing like putting it together to make it feel like the sum of the parts were not greater than the parts individually on any of these things. It was just like 9 songs, like a lot of these albums that were coming out. So we were like, fuck the algorithm.
It's Spotify babies.
Yeah, like fuck the algorithm. Like I don't care that, like, yeah, I have this weird 30-second montage of some dude talking about cassettes in New York City after the song. And I don't care if that means that you're not going to put it on your playlist because you want the song to end and then go right to the next song on your playlist. Like, I don't care.
Right.
So we kind of had that mentality, and we were like a little worried, like, hope everyone's okay with that shit.
Yeah.
And so far everyone's been happy and psyched that we did it. So
yeah,
absolutely. I agree with you guys 100%. Let's get into the album a little bit.
Wait 1 second, bro. How did you hear about the album? Like, how did you even know about it? Because we put stuff out, but we don't know how people really, you know.
I mean, just probably like everybody else. I'm a definite fan of like Ambrosia for Heads. But, you know, just being on IG all day, you're bound to come across, you know, a lot of dope stuff if you keep digging, you know what I mean? So I wanted to hold off and give it a honest 2023. A lot of people get an album in February and claim it's the album of the year. It's like, hold on, man. You still got, you know, X amount of months. You know, Elzai just dropped the album at the last minute, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to give him a chance as well. But, you know, I was like, man, there's nothing quite like, you know, the Charlie tapes. So it's definitely my favorite. And, you know, you guys bringing back the beats because I'm very tired of the redundant drumless thing going on right now. Everybody thinks that's what's winning. And, you know, like you said, some here, some there, but a lot of them albums are all drumless. You know, it's like a whole little pattern going on that I'm not too crazy about. So I appreciate you guys bringing back, you know, raw beats, raw raps, you know, no gimmicks.
the Soul Council really held us down, man. Shout out to that crew, man. They got just really talented cats, man. Ninth Wonder, the head of the Soul Council, man. But him, Eric G, Kashif, Crisis, they always holding us down, man. And you know, Sanap and Foolery are from that same school, so we got like a lot. It's like a lot of North Carolina influenced beat makers on here. You know what I mean? Got a homie from like the Ukraine there on there too, but it's mostly like, you know, the East Coast, North Carolina influenced sound, and they just really came with it, bro. Like that's the biggest thing to me. The beats really knocked, and we just tried to do the beats justice as well. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, this beat is crazy. We gotta do some crazy cuts. We gotta do some bars on this shit. Like, so
right. Let's get a little bit into the creative process and your thought process going into. I'm gonna name a few tracks, and you guys just take me back to what was going on and some of your inspiration behind them. I noticed DIGITZ mentioned Haters Anonymous. Talk a little bit about that track.
I don't even know where I was. You know, it's kind of weird, man. I always feel like people hating on me, bro. Like, honestly, that's part of the fuel. You know, like Jordan used to take a small slight and then just go off on somebody for 50 because they brushed them wrong. Whatever. It's just, I always just feel like, because I'll make dope shit and it don't pop. And I just be like, yo, man, like somebody hating because my shit's hot. I do a show, everybody love it, but what was a disconnect? So I just, you know, and I kind of funneled that energy into a song. You know what I mean? That's kind of where my mind was at.
Right. I know. So again, DIGITZ, you said, "Honey, check it out." Did you come up with that sample?
No, actually, the producer, he gave us that beat with the Q-tip hook in it, and I was just like, this is incredible. And then
Focus.
That beat was just, to me, that beat is so amazing. I just love that beat. I love, like, it can be that simple. Like the hook is just like, that's how it was back in the day. Like some of your favorite golden era songs, like the hook is really just that simple. And it's like you don't realize that, like, some of your favorite stuff is some of the most simple stuff. So like I love that joint from the start, man. And getting Von P on that, like, he cracks me up on that joint.
Yo, he went in, man. Shout out to Von P.
Von always kills it though, like, without a doubt.
And shout out to Don Will too. Like that was the first, you know, one of the first tours we ever did was with Tanya Morgan, man. So those are, once again, it's just, we had talked to homies like, yo, man, I'm making this thing. You want to get on? And Von P was like, oh yeah, of course. And he dropped that shit like that and just sent it right back.
That kind of like was like, the experience was like, as we were making this, and it was like starting out as a remix tape and then morphing into like a hybrid thing and then becoming all original. What was fueling that fire for us to push to it to be all original was like everybody that we were reaching out to be a part of it was saying yes. I was like, oh, like I cannot tell you how much of a miracle it was that Peter Rosenberg like got back to me with a drop for this thing. Like this dude is like on CNN and stuff. And like, that was just like another thing was like, dude, like, yo, he actually got back to us and did a drop. Like Knife is cool with us using these beats. Like Sky Zoo is available to do his verse. Like we got to make this original so that this can be its own album. So that was all kind of happening, and it just became like a snowball effect, I would say.
Yeah, man, the homies really came through. It was like, I just texted Rap like, yo, man, I need a drop right quick. She hit me like that. I was like, all right, here you go. I was like, yo, Crisis, I need a drop right quick. Hit me back like that. I'm just like, wow, all these people are really coming through for us. It was the way it just started like snowballing, and it was just like, we didn't expect it, but it really made us happy, man. We definitely hit some bumps in the road during the process, but all in all, it was just mad dope, man. It was real fun.
Right. What's your relationship like with Peter Rosenberg?
I mean, we've been knowing him since we moved up to New York. Like he was already up here doing Hot 97, and like we would always see him out at shows,
like at SOBs and stuff.
Yeah, like we always see him out at shows, and he was a fan of Kooley High for the longest time. And you know, when Kooley High dropped the Lazy Sunday EP in 2021, he played some of those songs on Hot 97 on Sunday night. So we've always known him, and but yeah, just like he's just such a busy dude conquering the world and shit. So like I was just like, yo, like let's email him and see if he'll do it. And then like he didn't get back at me at first. And then a week later I was like, man, let me just follow up email this guy one more time. And then literally he hit me back 30 minutes later and he had already recorded it and sent it to me. And I was just like, yo, it's meant to be, you know?
So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
another one of my favorites is Upside Down. What was the creative process behind that?
Like the general creative process when we make music is we hear the beat and we want to match the energy. You know what I'm saying? I can't hear a beat like that and just rap about something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rap about, oh, big booty hoes, hump with it. Ooh, like that don't go with that, right? So I'm listening to the beat. I'm like, yo, this is kind of a happy beat. You know what I'm saying? This kind of makes me feel good. So yeah, man, that's what I was rapping about on it. You know what I mean? Like turning a frown upside down. That's the simple synopsis of the song, turning a frown upside down. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man, I really like that beat a lot, man. Kept C came with it. You know what I'm saying? Once again, he's of that same school. He's from the Midwest, but you know what I'm saying? He's a fan of Knife. You know what I mean? Like, so the beat was fire, and I was like, yo, bro, can I get it? He said, yep. Like everybody was saying, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Without even hearing the other stuff. Like we ain't really let nobody else hear anybody else on it. We wasn't like
we kept this one pretty close to the chest for a very, very long time.
Like even Tab was on like 3 of the songs and hadn't heard none of it.
Yeah, he didn't even hear it until the final cut, like at the very end. Yeah.
Shout out to Tab. Like Tab is low key the Ghostface to this Raekwon. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Raekwon Ghostface type thing. He's Ghostface on Cuba Links.
Dope. Now, speaking of Ninth, he did Outbreak and Mezzanine. How hard is it to get a Ninth Wonder beat in 2023?
Bruh, you know, either you're the homie and he's gonna let you rock over one of his beats, or what, like $50,000? I don't know. Like
I don't even know the price. Bro.
I don't know. I don't know. Like
I would never.
I don't know. Like
this
dude
price.
made Girl, you know, by Destiny's Child. Like so, I don't know what to tell you.
Billboard just came out with a report saying he's top 25 hip hop producers of all time. That shit is priceless, bro. I'm like, yo, top 25 all time. Did 2 joints on my project, bro. Man, fuck out.
But honestly,
that's
like
crazy.
For the Mezzanine, I'll just give you a little backstory. Like we have always been hanging out with Ninth in the studio, like
over 20 years, bro.
Even
over
like
years.
all the way. So like, I don't know how, like it just so happened. I had in my possession a pack of beats from him, and some of the most amazing beats ever to me. And Mezzanine was on it. And like I would always, whenever we would do a Kooley High show, I would play that beat for sound check, just to like I knew if that beat was sounding hot, then the system was right. And I just held on to that beat CD for like years and years and years and years and years. And finally, you know, Charlie recorded the joint, and then
we played
it. Yeah,
we went down to Bright Lady Studios, which is where Jamla operates out of, and we called in Kashif, who was there with Sanap, and Knife was in the building. And we really wanted to play it for Kashif first because one of his beats was on it, and we had like I said, we just made it, and we didn't even really ask for permission at first. We were just like, all right, let's make this thing. And so he heard it. Like one of the few people that heard it was Kashif, because he was like the A&R of Jamla, and you know, he knows Eric G, he knows all these people, so he's a connector. So it's like, yo, what do you think about it? And he was giving us pointers. He's like, bro, this song right here, if I was y'all, I'd take it off. This right here, I would chop that. This right here, like he was giving us pointers, and he was like, yo, man, it's just dope. And then Knife was like, he was doing this thing in his room and in the other room, but he would walk by and such and such. And then he stopped in. And then when we got him, he stayed in and he was listening to it. And then we played the Knife joints, and he was like, he was kind of rocking with it. And he was like, yo, was he like, he didn't even really have,
he didn't have that pack of 10 beats anymore.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even know, he like, yo, I don't have those beats anymore. So I was like, yo, I gave Knife his beats back.
man, just cause he used to do this thing. He did this thing called 30 by Thursday, right? So every week he was making 30 beats, and you multiply that times weeks in a year, and you multiply that by how many years he's been doing this, bro, he done made too many beats to keep track of all this shit. So this 10 kind of just like came and went, and we had one of them, and he gave us the go ahead. At that day, we was like, yo, we're trying to put it out. He's like, all right, man, email it to me, and if there's any problems, I'll let you know. We emailed it to him, no problem.
Yeah, so like, by the way, like I think Threats was like beat 800 for Ninth Wonder.
Wow.
Yeah, so
But that's what he said?
Yeah, he said Threats was beat 800. So that's how many beats he made before Threats, which is crazy.
And think how long ago that was.
Right.
Man got eons of beats. So like to even get 2 of those is still kind of crazy though. Like,
oh no, I mean you can't tell me nothing, man.
What?
Right.
Ninth is the GOAT, man. So like that, like still to this day, I'm tickled, you know, that like to have scratches on a Ninth Wonder song that's like on Spotify and is available for purchase. Like, what are you talking about?
And he spazzed on those beats, bro. Both
Right.
of them, just like, oh my god, like, yeah.
So afterwards, did he hear the finished product and give you guys feedback?
Not really. I think he just rocked with it.
Yeah,
like,
he just rocks with it.
Like, I think sometimes, like, if there's a problem, he'll let you know. If he don't rock with something, he'll let you know. But if it's dope, he'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Like a head nod or like, you know what I mean? Point at you, something like that. Give the, you know what I'm saying? The thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't like, he didn't really give no critiques. He just, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a great thing to me that he didn't really come in and be like, yo, y'all should have did this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of let it rock, man. Cause Sheaf was cool with it. Everybody was cool with it. You know what I mean? So we was happy as fuck.
That's just like, man, like I said before, man, to have some Ninth beats is just like amazing.
Yeah. Top 25 all time, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Out of North Carolina. It's just like, that's nuts.
Talk a little bit about connecting with Jay Cyanide on Monumental.
Man, we've been knowing him for like 10 years, bro.
Man, more than that.
I think we knew him before he was Jay Cyanide, man.
Jay Sicko.
Yeah, he was Jay Sicko. He was just our friend's friend.
Yeah, he was the homie Jay Sicko.
Yeah, like our college buddy Ace Jones moved up to DC and was living in DC, and he met Jay Cyanide. And so, but Jay Cyanide had been involved in the game in the 90s. He was a rapper in the 90s and had even put out albums and stuff. And I think
he knows everybody.
He was just on a little bit of a hiatus, and then
Yeah.
now he was just like, okay, it's time to come back. And then wow, look at everything that he's been doing. So
he might be in London right now, man. That dude's everywhere, man. You know, tell him where he.
That's the homie, man.
Yeah, and it just like everybody else, it was just like sent him a text. Hey, yo, Jay, we talked about doing a track. I think I got one. It's like, word, send it. Sent it this way. Week later, verse. I'm just like, it couldn't have been any easier, man. Everybody was mad, like professional, bro. Like everybody that we worked with on this one was just mad professional, easy to work with. Just, you know what I mean? They really came through for us, man. And we really can't express enough of how it was a whole group that came together. Yeah, me and DIGITZ kind of put the pieces all together and made the movie a movie, but all these scenes that happened during the movie wouldn't have happened with the cast, without the cast of characters involved, man. And it was really good to see that everybody was willing to work with us.
Right, no doubt. Let's talk about one more song. For those who haven't listened, definitely go out. You will be amazed by this project. But just one more song, Winning Song with Jansport J.
That was another one where like it wasn't a freestyle, but that was one where he had recorded that joint, and then when it came time to put the album together, Jay had given that beat to somebody else, and so that had to be re-recorded. So there's an alternate version of Winning Song out there floating in the ether. But yeah, that was re-recorded at the last minute to make the album, and we just love that beat. I don't know if you want to talk about.
Jansport J is working with Nas, bro. He's working with Nas and Hit Boy. You know what I'm saying? We've been knowing him for years. We used to go out. My sister lives in Cali, right? She lives in LA. So we used to just go and visit her and do shows out there. And we link up with like El Prez, and El Prez was real good homies with Jansport J. And they even made an album together and put Kooley on it. And so we always been rocking with Jansport J. We asked him for beats, he send the beats, and we rap to him, but we didn't really get to put out too many of them because, we just, that's just what happens sometimes. Producers send you beats, you rap over, and sometimes they don't come out. but I've always just like been admiring his work and like working with him when we made one. And he was just like, it was gone. And when we hit him back about getting another beat, he's like, all right, man, I got you. And just sent us some beats. You know what I'm saying? This man is he's in the midst of recording with Nas and Hit Boy. And he's sending us shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have to do that, bro. He did not have to do that. But he really just showed us love, man. And yeah, man, it's like cats. That's what I talk about, doing something that we like to do. Everybody that was doing with it was doing it off the strength too. You know what I'm saying? So it's really made us feel even better, because like this is something that we love to do, and they know us and they know our passion, and they know that we're not going to treat their beat like anything other than a prized possession. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, we gonna spit shine this bitch. We gonna make this shit look real pretty for you, bro. I promise. And then we did that shit, and he rocked with it. You know what I mean?
Also, like, it's funny, like, if you like think about the beginning of the album, Haters Anonymous, is where he's like kind of like unsure and doubting, like, that everyone's feeling him. And then like the winning song is definitely like at the end, like, yo, we know that we did it with this one, the winning song. So I feel like, to me, that's like what that song is about. Like, the energy of it is like the end of the album, like the victory song, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like Foolishness is like the exclamation.
Yeah,
You
Foolishness is okay. So like, if it's a movie, right? Winning song is like the climax, the victory, and then Foolishness is like at the end of Star Wars, where everyone's getting medals and shit.
Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying, Yoda dead, but he popped up again, like, hey, my guy. You know what I'm saying? It's that part.
No doubt. The album dropped in April. What has the reaction been like over the past 7 months from fans, peers in the industry, you know, reviews? What have the people been saying about this project?
We ain't got too many reviews, man. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like, we got one in the Independent. They gave it 4.5 stars out of 5.
Well, yeah, as far as like a detailed written out review, the indie, that was probably the most thorough review.
We got in the Frank
interview, yeah.
151.
Yeah, we got in Frank 151, which was mad dope. Shout out to Tiwa.
Mm-hmm.
Ambrosia Fahez put us on their top 10 at the end of the year.
That was unexpected, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
we've been fans of them for years.
Yeah.
And so like that was a shock to me. Yeah, that made my week last week, bro. It's honestly still making my week this week. Yeah, like super excited to be recognized by them.
You don't know who hears your stuff, bro, and we don't get like a zillion listens. So we just like, oh, it's just the homies, man. And the homies love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting phone calls, I was getting texts by, you know, people I ain't even heard from in a minute. Like, just, you know, friends of friends that got my number hit me up like, yo, this album is fire. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. No, you don't understand. This album is fire, bro. Like, shit like that. Like, so I'm like, oh, wow, this is even more than the other stuff is really affecting people. They're like, yo, they really loved it. So the homies loved it. And I wasn't sure if publications do, because like I said, again, like people be sleeping on us, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if some of these people would have heard it, they would at least say something about it. So when they don't say nothing about it, I'm like, oh, they ain't here. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Ambrosia with 500,000 followers and shit on like Facebook or wherever, they posted it. I'm like, yo,
well, we did get the
crazy.
Bandcamp of the month in April when it dropped.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
So yeah, like we definitely that was another moment where it was like, yo, like where our faces were on the front page of bandcamp.com. That was another one where some of the homies were like, yo, y'all seeing this over here, bro? And we're like, whoa. So
yeah, definitely unexpected.
It's been great. Yeah.
It's like they didn't tell us they were going to do that. They would be like, hey man, on Monday, we're going to put your face on the cover of our website. It was like, nah, it was just like there. And we were just like,
because like we were like, I mean, me personally, like I knew we were going against the grain with this, like with the algorithm and
no,
like,
a lot of the mantra was fuck the algorithm.
Yeah, so like I was a little like, okay, I hope, you know, there's a little bit at the, you know, as we're like turning this thing into Fab Beats, it's like, all right, I hope people like all this shit that I put in between all these songs. Like I hope they like the boom bap, you know, there's drums on everything, you know, like, and so we were ecstatic that people were like the things that we took chances on are the things that everyone was like, we love that you did that. So that was great.
Yeah.
For the people who haven't heard it, where can they find it at, as well as physical copies?
I would say go to Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying? Bandcamp.com/CharlieTape.
Yeah, there's still some cassettes if you want to buy a cassette. The vinyl sold out. Thanks to everyone.
If there's a copy on Turntable Lab, it might be the last one. I don't know.
No, the vinyl sold out.
Really on Turntable Lab too? Dang. Well, shout out to Turntable Lab because they also showed us love just by putting us on the store. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have to do that, and because they got everybody don't make it to their store. You know what I mean? And so just to be in a Turntable Lab is mad dope. Shout out to Turntable Lab for having us on there.
You guys plan on touring off this project?
I would love to. Yeah, let's do it, right?
I mean, I'm really the place I'm at, man, is if they book it, we cook it. Like whenever there's a show and somebody sees us, they're like, damn, man, y'all killed that shit. And then sometimes a show will happen out of that. Like we did a release show in New York at New Blue, and my homie was there and he had another show out. And then I did a show in Harlem. There was people all out there. And then next thing I know, Babyface was at that same show. So that was cool. But like I like to go where there's pull rather than pushing on people. So if there's some pull somewhere, if there's a festival, we want to do festivals. We want to do colleges. We want to do places where they have a budget. You know what I'm saying? You already know what we do. You know what I'm saying? If you want that in your place and you're willing to pay for it, that's what we're trying to do. Because that just touring and it'd be 5 people there because I don't know nobody in Tacoma. My homies ain't in Tacoma, so I'm in Tacoma just to be like, no shade to Tacoma, but if I'm not coming unless they pay, bro, I'm not paying for a flight to Tacoma. Like, so that's where I'm really at with it, man. Like I'm professional at making the music. I'm not a professional at touring. You know what I'm saying? I'm a professional at doing shows, but the touring lifestyle really doesn't fit where I'm at in life unless I can make a certain amount of money because I got a job, bro. I live in New York. It's not cheap. So how can I make all these things make sense for me and my child and my girl? You know what I'm saying? So I would love to tour if somebody's willing to book us. Like,
speaking of like some of the cities that we definitely do want to do, no shade once again to Tacoma. Denver, I'm speaking this out into existence right now. Denver, I want to come see you. If you're in Denver, holler at us. Shout out to DJ Low Key. We gotta get out to LA. We got so many homies and fans out there. You'll always see us in North Carolina, and you'll always see us in New York. Yeah, but we want to go to some other places.
We're trying to go to Richmond. We're trying to go to Nashville. We're trying to go to Boston.
I'm trying to go to Germany, bro. I want to do Germany show. They love us in Germany. Tokyo, people have been buying cassettes in Tokyo.
Somebody told me they heard our song in a bar in Tokyo. Like they was in a bar in Tokyo and was like, yo, I just heard some Charlie Tape. I'm just like, what? Wow. So definitely the album is dope and it's making its way through. And we're gonna do shows, but like touring is different from doing shows. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll do shows, like we live on the East Coast, so it's easier to do that. And if it makes sense, we can always make it happen. But touring is like, 60 shows in 70 days. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think about. You know what I mean? But we're definitely down to do shows. Anybody have any ops out there, please. We have an open door policy. We're always trying to get new fans. But yeah, Nashville, Richmond, Asheville, Raleigh, Atlanta, Boston, Philly, major states on the East Coast, Chicago, Detroit, LA.
Indiana.
Do you know Wally Wonder?
Wally Wonder, I do not.
That's the DJ. That's the Indiana bred DJ that we know in Brooklyn. Yeah. Shout out to Wally Wonder. Yeah.
Oh, one more shout out though. Kim Creative, man. They helped us do the music video. So if you go to YouTube, there's a music video for Haters Anonymous and also a music video for Mezzanine. If y'all want some visuals to match with the tracks, go check those out. Kim Creative helped make the Haters Anonymous video happen. And Jared, shout out to him. Shout out to Bro Jackson. All of our visual creators, Jay, everybody, man. Ashton, everybody that really came through to help us.
Very dope. The Charlie Tape is out now. Go out and find that on Bandcamp. Everywhere, get that, purchase the tape. You say there's a few more copies of that still available.
Yes, there's tapes are available. Support how you support. Like if you want to just go run it up on Spotify, we make some money off of that. If you want to buy the tape, buy the tape. If you want to buy the vinyl on the Discogs resale market from somebody, like support how you support, you know, like come out to a show. If you're in Philly and you see we're doing a show in New York, you know, just make a little plan, drive up there and come check us out, you know, or vice versa. So Von P was the one who instilled this mantra in us, which is support how you support. However it is that you support, that's what we need.
Right. Yeah. Once the Charlie tape does its thing, what can we expect next from Charlie Smarts?
Kooley High, man. I'm a part of a crew. You know what I mean? And we must protect this house. You know what I'm saying? It's the foundation for me and DIGITZ. Without them, there would be no us in this game. So we got to make sure that Kooley High is the #1 priority so me and DIGITZ can still flourish. Because I'm getting love either way. I get more love when Kooley High is doing shit. I'm not going to lie, like, because they're just bigger. So we got this Kooley High project coming out. And when is it coming out?
Soon.
Dog, just lay the date on.
Not exactly sure, but soon. Yeah, hopefully very, very
first
soon.
Quarter?
Definitely first quarter.
First quarter.
Kooley High album. So,
and it's really just building off some of the stuff that you hear on this album, the professionalism, the dope beats, the concentration on, you know, every word matters. You know what I'm saying? Every cut matters. You know what I mean? Like we really it was precision. You know what I'm saying? It's not no just, oh man, I made this shit in a day and put it out. No, we like, there's a lot of artists out here to be like, oh man, I made this shit in a week, man. My shit hot. And it sound like they made it in a week. Bro.
I never saw that as like a bragging thing, you know?
Yeah, bro. Like we care. Like that's the biggest thing I feel like people, when they listen to our album, they be like, yo, they actually care. They actually are doing their thing and they care about my time. Cause I don't want my time wasted on the whack shit. And they didn't do it. They didn't. So when the Kooley shit dropped, first quarter, it's going to be a similar feeling, but it's different though too. You know what I'm saying? It's because when we get with the crew, it's more of a Slum Village, more of a De La Soul. You know what I'm saying? More of a Tribe Called Quest type thing.
Can't wait for y'all to hear it though, man. So
what's next for DJ DIGITZ?
I mean, honestly, like with the success of Charlie Tape, you know, we gotta make volume 2. You know, so you know, like Sound Bombing. That was such a big inspiration for us for this album. And so they had a volume 2. So we're definitely going to do a Charlie Tape volume 2. This fool has wanted a volume 2 of something for like 10 years.
I've been asking for a volume 2 of anything. I'm like, yo, we got all these projects we made. We need a volume 2, bro.
So
like
definitely,
Slum Village is like volume 2. Like I want a volume 2. And I was telling them, like, we don't even have to buy volume 1. I was just like, yo, let's make a volume 2 of something.
But yeah, so Charlie Tape volume 2, and there may be some Charlie Tape remixes coming soon.
Yo, shout out to DIGITZ though, super quick. Is not dealing with Kooley High or Mecca Records, which is the label that we started. He just did a whole album, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the Spanish Ran joint. I did a whole bunch of scratches for this producer in New York called Spanish Ran.
A who's who of MC spitting on there, Blue Azul.
Super dope New York shit. It's got drums.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some dope drums. So I love that shit. I love that joint. It was awesome to be a part of that. So
what's the name of the album?
It's called Genesis Shit Volume 1.
Genesis Shit Volume
Spanish
1.
Ran.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Spanish, man. Like we're gonna need some beats for Volume 2. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Well, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Thank you for dropping one of the best albums this year. It's my favorite, but everybody else, you know, let us know your opinions on the Charlie Tape, which is out now. Before we get out of here, can you guys shout out your social media and where we can keep up with you guys at?
Yeah, just our Charlie Smarts on everything, man. If you want to see me, Charlie, CHARLIE, Smarts, SMARTS, and you'll see me on everything. Just Google that, and you can keep up with me. It's easy.
DJ Ill Digits, yeah, all one thing. That's everything. And just thank you, man. Sin-seer. Thank you for just like caring, you know.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And I like the way you did your name too, Sin-seer.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, my name's kind of based off of Nas's character in Belly. So
oh yeah.
You know that background story. So yeah, appreciate you guys once again. The next time you guys drop a project, let's do it all over again. Definitely got to get you know, good music out there to the masses. So like I said, keep up the good work, and much success going into 2024. Thank you guys once again.
Appreciate
Thank
it. Yep.
No doubt. See you again soon.
All right.